early on this morning. But hang on. Here goes Conor O'Leary, chasing down a 7.01. Decent looking wave from him. Let's see how he'll go here. He'll pull in and he'll grab the rail. And if he can come out, which he can, that is so technical to do that backhand at J-Bay, and a hammer of a hit for O'Leary. Check the bottom turn. No. Once again, absolutely smashes it. O'Leary, another with the drift. This is going to be a monster of a score for O'Leary. What's he got? One more. Come on.
Talk about a comeback. And Conor O'Leary, really a Cinderella story. Wouldn't have been a favorite in this event, but he overcame a lot of adversities in a big way. Look at Conor O'Leary's road to the final. He had to beat the in-form Ethan Ewing in the quarterfinal, Jesse.
He definitely had the most stacked draw off the event. You have to go through Ethan and then Felipe Toledo and then Iago Dora, which was some of the best surfing we've seen it all year on the right-hand point break.
Here it goes, Rosie. Start off with this quarterfinal here with Iago Dora, and it was a high-scoring affair for Iago in this quarterfinal against Ethan Ewing.
Yeah, this was crazy. I mean, Conor had to come in clutch on that last wave and absolutely dismantled it. Said that he came in at the keyhole right in front of Geordie Smith's house, and Geordie was on the balcony just screaming, knowing that Conor had flipped the heat, and he was on his way to the semifinals against Felipe.
Yeah, absolute clutch. It was 16.37 for Conor O'Leary versus a 16.07 for Ethan Ewing. This was an excellent heat. Then in the semifinals, Conor O'Leary put more gas in the tank and showed what he's all about.
And imagine you being Conor O'Leary and how much emotional drainage you had to go through with the back against the wall twice on this event, on the quarterfinals and the semifinals, and getting this 10-point ride on almost a buzzer beater. That was so impressive from Conor O'Leary.
Yeah, 10-point ride, a Yeti cooler stacked with Yeti gear, a cool way to do it, 16.33. Two-wave total to take down Felipe Toledo in the semifinals.
Just amazing. I mean, calling on the best number of your entire career right when you need it, up against a 3-time J-Bay champion in Felipe Toledo. Just a fairy tale finish. And not to mention, I mean, Conor had to get through Italo Ferreira in the round of 16, and he also had an extremely tricky elimination round heat that he had to scratch his way through.
Huge final. All goofy foot up against Iago Dora. Jesse, like you said, Iago was one of the most informed surfers of this entire event, but Conor O'Leary got it done.
Yeah, he just was very smart, patient, select the right waves, and those drawn out bottom turns were really setting him up for success. Look how calm he keeps off the bottom, engaging that inside rail to generate speed to attack mode on the lip line.
Yeah, 8.17, a 7.5 was enough for Conor O'Leary for his first CT win. It's been a huge 2025 for Conor, new dad, and now has a CT victory under his belt, Rosie.
Oh man, it just shows, you know, he's just reaching his full potential now at this point in his career. Seeing him crack, you know, this first win of his time on tour. Where does this lead for the rest of the year, for the rest of the next season? Thinking about, he was on the cut line, guys, at Margaret River.
Yeah.
And now he's really turned his career around.
And it's really a big one when you think about it for Japan. I think this is only the second CT win for a surfer representing Japan. So did it for country, did it for himself, and a long road after 7 years on the CT, Jesse, for this victory.
Yeah, huge breakthrough for himself and for the country, and all for those ones coming up that they can believe that they can reach that. Those guys, him and Kanoa, paved the way, and now it's up to them.
Yeah. Good stuff. Here's the numbers from the final. Dora had a chance at the end, but Conor just locked it up. There was a little bit of a priority change at the end, but it was all O'Leary, and just the fact that he could buckle down when he needed to. Incredible. Inspirational, actually, victory for Conor O'Leary.
Yeah, that's one he's going to remember for the rest of his life, and just the performance with the 10-point ride, that's also in the statement.
Yeah, what a day. What a day for Conor. And then on the women's side, we just had just as good of a show. I mean, we had a lot of drama in a lot of the heats, super consistent, 6 foot, 8 foot J-Bay hammering down the point. It was incredible.
Yeah, solid surf, and these women just rising to the occasion. I think one of the words of the day has been stamina and just controlling that energy, because every time you're hitting the lineup, there's so much that you expend, so much mental fortitude that you need to win out here at J-Bay when the conditions are like this, and just amazing to watch all of these women compete on these waves.
Yeah, Gabby Bryan brought her brand of power surfing to the long walls of Jeffreys Bay. Gabby has been the standout in a lot of the free surfs and put that all together in her road to the final. It started off this morning, early this morning, Epic J-Bay offshore with her matchup against Tyler Wright.
I mean, look at the light this morning. It was ridiculous. Look how big those waves were. Obviously, the swell was peaking as they were entering the water. Just the guinea pigs right there. Not easy to have to deal with all that pressure with the conditions that they had on offer. And Gabby just being the most consistent and the most powerful throughout the day.
And even surfing against Tyler Wright, in the head-to-head history, Tyler Wright had always had Gabriella's number, and obviously those matchups had happened in the previous years, but now meeting a new improved Gabriella Bryan in the 2025 season.
She is in form. Then she came up against Caroline Marks in this semi-final, and again, the power surfing prevailed.
And that's when the surf starts to improve as far as grooming. Like we had the winds turn to southwest, so that makes it comes from a little bit behind. It's like an offshore. It grooms the whole face of the wave, so that was even easier for her compared to the first heat. First heat was a bit trickier, and then she was just unleashing all the way into the final.
Stamina. She had to dig deep for a final up against world #1 Molly Picklum. It was a tight final. Pickles looked like she was in form, but Gabby Bryan came back. That consistency, that power all paid off for another CT win.
It was amazing just to see Gabby just hold her composure in this heat, because it was Molly Picklum who started out, won the first exchange, took the lead early on, and really put Gabriella in a position there where she had to fight back with a lot of pressure.
And it was kind of the story of the name of the story today. We had so many surfers in the last 3 heats. Started off very good. The opponent would commit a mistake, but they wouldn't capitalize and leave the door open, and all of them took the bite. So it's kind of a mistake there that she's going to have to clean up moving forward to Tahiti. But Gabby just taking advantage and taking her 3rd win of the season so far. That's a massive statement.
What a year for Gabriella Bryan. And she's just coming into her own right now, I feel. Finishing here, she's going to be #2 in the rankings going into Tahiti.
We've had 10 events.
Yeah.
Gabriella Bryan's been in 4 finals and she's won 3 events. I mean, it doesn't get any more consistent than that.
I concur. And what a feeling. Again, she's getting used to these chairs up this year, Jesse.
She really is. She really is getting used to it. And props to her, man. She's definitely the most improved surfer from the previous season to now, and it's just amazing to watch.
And also, congratulations to Super Coach Richard Dog Marsh, coach for both Connor O'Leary and Gabriella Bryan. The dog pound right there. They made a clean sweep at the 2025 J-Bay event, and there's the numbers. You see, that one high number for Molly Picklum put her in a good position, but it was Gabriella Bryan's consistency that paid off.
Yeah, that's, turned that heat with a 6.93, but I'm going to say it's the winner's shout tonight, because they're going to take home almost 1.8 million rand.
Oh, my goodness.
When you convert the 100K.
That's impressive. Yeah, it's going to be a big night for the dog pound, and congratulations again to Gabriella Bryan. A well-deserved victory here at J-Bay, and also outstanding performance. I want to also say Molly Picklum put on an outstanding performance in every single one of her heats.
3 consecutive finals for her. So you had, the best surfers in that final at J-Bay.
Yeah.
Interesting though, how her percentage of wins in finals is pretty small for a surfer of her caliber. I think this is the 8th or 9th final, and she won 3. So she needs to step it up a little bit on the finals itself, because it's something happens there that she needs to clean out.
We got to talk a little bit of shuffle on the men's rankings. We got the usual suspects on the women's rankings. Let's take a look, first of all, at our men's rankings after event number 10 here at the Corona Sarah Open J-Bay. There's that line. And Griffin Colapinto, from a slow start in the season, Jesse, look at, he's just 1 spot outside.
I mean, he closed the gap big time. He had a few thousand points behind Ethan, and right now just 700 points or something around that. I can't do math that fast, but that's basically 1 heat away. So whoever stays in front in the last event is going to clinch the top 5.
Iago Dora, Rosie, first time in his career, he's going to be in that yellow leader's jersey when we get to Tahiti.
Oh, man, what a moment for him. And just to see him overtake that lead lead and keep that momentum. And like you said, you're coming into one of his pet events in Tahiti. We know what he's capable of in the barrel on his forehand.
Yeah, and by the way, Conor O'Leary has jumped a bunch of spots, I think 4 spots, 5 spots, all the way up to number 11. He's right below Leo Fioravanti on the Championship Tour rankings for the men.
There's value in finishing in the top 10 when you think about sponsors and how you'd be incentivized. So there's, you know, we've been talking about the WSL Final 5, but I think for everyone, for your rankings for next year, for sponsor incentives, there's definitely when you have that movement, it's all positive attributes.
Yeah, it's really positive movement. I mean, for someone like Conor O'Leary, who after 7 years, I talked about on the Championship Tour, finally has that CT win. This could be a big door opening up mentally and just coming through that barrier, Jesse.
And that's a personal goal as well that he mentioned. Like, not just, I feel like you can't really get to, you know, being a world champ besides being a top 10 surfer before. So you kind of go step by step, and this is something that probably all the surfers aim to get before reaching, you know, the top 5 final or, you know, clinching a world title. So big statement for him and big chance.
Yeah, let's take a look at our women's rankings. Molly Picklum, she doesn't have to change wardrobe. She's still going to be in yellow in Tahiti, but Gabby Bryan climbing up there, getting really close. Caroline Marks right below the line, but had some great movement here, Ro.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you just watch that Final 5. We've already set in place 2 positions on that leaderboard, so there's not many seats left at the table, so we're really going to come down to the wire in Tahiti.
And I personally think it's really going to come down to the wire in between number 5 and 6. Like, the gap in between after Caroline Marks is actually pretty impressive. It's almost 4,000 points, so it's a lot of heat wins in front of someone. So whoever stays in front in between those 2 surfers most likely would take and clinch the top 5.
Yeah, that's right. So Molly Picklum already has her spot. Gabriela Bryan already has her spot. And guess what? One more spot has been taken. Katie Simmers has clinched her spot in the Final 5. We caught up earlier. Paul Evans caught up earlier with Katie Simmers on her reaction. Let's take a look at that.
Katie, not the result you were hoping for here at J-Bay this time around, but the good news is you've clinched your spot, Final 5, heading to Fiji.
Oh, wow, that's really cool. I didn't know that. I thought there was a bunch of implications and stuff that needed to happen in Tahiti. But yeah, that's amazing to hear.
In terms of your time here at Jeffreys Bay, obviously not the result, but you've done a bunch of surfing, you've been enjoying yourself, and how do you feel about heading over to Tahiti and then obviously now over to Fiji and defending your world title?
No, yeah, it's definitely sucks to not win contests because that's why we do it. And I do put a lot of heart and soul into this surfing and competing, and it really does suck when you don't do kind of how you expect yourself to do. But yeah, this wave is definitely a very big learning for me. I feel like I can learn a lot about Jeffreys Bay. I still have a lot to learn. So I guess just try to keep surfing, and it honestly feels really good to like have the spot in the Final 5 because now I can kind of just surf Tahiti and have fun there because that's one of my favorite spots. My favorite spots on tour, so now I can just kind of like cruise and maybe not like be thinking about whether I'm going to be making the Final 5 the whole time. So
congratulations, Katie, defending world champ Katie Simmers. She's heading to Fiji to defend that title.
Yeah, that's right. I love me a Katie Simmers interview, Rosie. They're always good.
I love the honesty because I think sometimes you don't think that she has that competitive nature, and she says it. I mean, everyone, it's like sucks to lose. It burns even more when you're super competitive.
I mean, it sucks to lose ping pong battles, so imagine losing with so much up to grab. And yeah, for sure, she might look casual, but she has the fire inside of her, and I think just her surfing, the way she positions on top of the board, relates to people thinking that she's not that fierce, but she grew up for that.
I think it's going to be really cool that we know now Katie Simmers is going to have a chance to defend her world title and go for back-to-back world titles with a win in Fiji at the WSL Final. So that's some great news. One thing we know already, but it's not official because we got one more event to go. But that Vissla CT Shaper rankings, it's a done deal. Look at Lost. Look at Mayhem. Look at Matt Biolis. Look at the numbers, Ro.
Are you saying it's not a done deal?
I'm saying it's a done deal.
Yeah, that's pretty comboed, hogtied.
DHD making some improvement, obviously, with Connor, you know, and Molly Picklum making finals, Connor winning. So it's going to be a battle for second place now.
Yeah, again, a pre-congratulations to the crew in San Clemente over at Lost. Matt Biolis just celebrated another birthday, and gosh, what a present. He's going to have another win on this Vista CT ranking.